Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na-eja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. If you are joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, or any part of the world, I thank you very much for your contribution. Please, each time you watch my video, go to the comment section and put down your comments. That is where we learn from each other. We learn a lot from the comment section. I don't speak alone. I am speaking with you. You can equally contribute. You can criticize if you so desire, but do it constructively so that we can learn from one another. That is why we're here. Thank you so much for joining. Remember, you have to say what is happening in your own area. Whatever happens, if you see something, say something. Don't be silent. We cannot allow the conventional media to continue to change the narrative. We cannot allow the conventional media to continue to play down the situation. We will continue to bring the situation the way it is and say it straight the way it is without hating anybody. We are not preaching hate speech. We are not talking down anybody. We say live and let live. And for those who say we will not live, just like the Fulani Janjaweed have said, they will not live either.
In Kano State, reports reaching us indicate that family members of a 16-year-old girl, identified as Hussein, are in dispute with the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, after he allegedly lured the teenager with millions of naira to persuade her into marrying him as his fourth wife. According to reports, the Accountant General had kicked against the family after they refused to consent to the marriage and insisted on marrying her, despite the age gap of over 40 years between the two. Idris is said to have tied the knot with the teenager in a secret wedding held recently in the state. This is, such a shocking development. This was circulating on social media all over yesterday. The reports are not 100% confirmed, Tundu Abiola, I must stress that. But if this is actually true, it is quite appalling that one of our leaders is engaging in this underage marriage scheme.
OJ, it's so disgusting. Even if this particular story is not true, somewhere there's a 16-year-old girl being forced into marriage with a much older man. And there have been so many campaigns, Child Not Bride, so many campaigns advocating for the passage of the Child Rights Act in the northern states of Nigeria, all falling on deaf ears. Why? Because people want to legally be allowed to be a pervert. That is the bottom line. They want to be able to marry children and cause them all kinds of physical, emotional, psychological trauma. This is a disgusting practice. And I had hoped when you now have a president like a Muhammadu Buhari with the kind of cult-like, adoration that he commands, especially in the north of this country, all over the country, but especially in the north of this country, that he could use a lot of that influence that he has to advocate for this type of thing, because he did not do that. So he obviously knows better. People will listen to somebody like him. If it's a Christian voice or a Southern voice, it will be completely dismissed. But somebody like him, these are the things I had hoped that 8 years of a Muhammadu Buhari presidency would at least give us, especially in the north, so that some of these evils, we can finally put it behind us. But alas, here we are. A government official has the audacity to do something like this in Nigeria. I do hope this is not true. It's deeply disturbing and it's sickening.
Only last week we talked about R. Kelly being locked up in jail for engaging in this type of criminal activity. This is what I term it as.
But it's not today now, OG. Are you shocked? You remember Child Not Bride? Wasn't it a former governor in this country, a serving senator, that was fighting frantically just for him to be able to marry, I think, an 11 or 12-year-old Egyptian girl?
Was it the Zamfara?
14-year-old Egyptian girl. Yeah. A full-grown man, excited, fighting frantically, had nothing to bring to the National Assembly than to push a bill that will make it easy for him to marry a 14-year-old. You see the mindset? We cannot build a country this way. These girls should go to school. We need to put the laws in place that will stop people like this. That's why we need to empower the girl child. We need to empower women. in areas that they feel downcast. We need to empower them. We need to send them to school. Just imagine what that girl could be. She could be an astronaut. She could be an engineer.
Absolutely.
A woman wrote the mathematical code that sent a man to space first in NASA. So we need to empower women, not marry them over the age of 14. How does it make you feel? Because you want to lord over the lady?
Okay, what we're dealing with here is, at one level, is with the conflict of laws. And that was clearly signposted in 2013 in the case of Senator Ahmed Yerima. That's the name of the former governor you were trying to recall. When on the floor of the National Assembly, there was an attempt to review, revise, amend Section 29 of the 1999 Constitution, inherited from the 1979 Constitution, in terms of what age can you renounce citizenship? You have to be of full age. And the conception is that full age is 18. However, the Constitution of Nigeria does not state the age of marriage. But the Child Rights Act of 2003 is very clear that full age means when you are 18. But the problem we had with that particular debate then, which was the basis for the child no bride argument, was that this Senator Ahmed Yerima, who had married earlier a girl of 15, divorced her at 17, and then decided to take a 14-year-old bride from Egypt. And that caused great controversy. The agency in charge of prohibition of human trafficking, NGOs, rose in unison to say, no, this is not accepted. Now, the first time that was debated, there was support for about 2/3. But when Ahmed Yerima opposed it, and some other governors from the north, on the grounds of, 1, religion, 2, they quoted Sharia, that under the Sharia, when a woman, once you marry a woman, whether she's 12 or she's 11 or 10, then she's of full age. And this caused a lot of uproar. But till today, since that 2013, that has not happened. The Child Rights Act is, domesticated in only 23 states of Nigeria. Most of the states in the north have refused to domesticate it. So now you're talking about the Accountant General of Nigeria, who is 61 years old. Idris, 61 years old. And it is alleged that he has married secretly a girl of 16 years, a girl who is under the age of consent. Her family is saying that she cannot be married.
Yes.
And that this is a case of child abuse.
Yes.
This is a case of cradle snatching, and that is unacceptable to them, and that the girl has been enticed and all of that. But I have not seen any response from the accused, Accountant General of the Federation. So whether it is confirmed or not, we do not know. But this child bride phenomenon is a major issue. Correct. It's a major threat to the growth of the girl child, and I think if you look at it even from a religious point of view, some people are scandalized that a man that is almost entering the winter season will be going about, playing around the cradle of small girls. I think that, it's quite a scandal, and the international community is always alarmed. You have lawmakers in Nigeria who are always looking for, small girls, teenagers, and luring them away with special attraction. Poverty, I guess, is also part of the problem.
I guess we're all looking forward to a response from Ahmed Idris. This is really unacceptable.
In high places, honestly.
Well, we'll take a final story. One of the umbrella bodies of herdsmen in Nigeria, the Maeti Allah Kautal Hore, on Tuesday, announced that herders won't support any southern candidate who is against open grazing should he or she run for president in 2023. The spokesman for the group, Saleh Al-Hassan, described the passage of the law to ban open grazing in the southern states as satanic and politically motivated, and vowed to sue the southern governors over the law. Al-Hassan also alleged that the move by the southern governors was to negotiate the 2023 presidency with their 19 northern colleagues that have kicked against power shift to the south. I thought it was quite comical. I don't know why I laughed when I read it, Rufai, because I knew how upset you were yesterday when you were talking about
it is funny.
But satanic, the word satanic, how on earth is this move satanic?
That makes it even more comical. I'm sure that person probably read a script from Monty Python. It's funny. It's comical. It's like child's play. Chucky, let's be straight and forward. The last time I checked, an association is not the Nigerian people that will vote. Let's respect the Nigerian people. Let's stop all these associations talking here and there that you not support Southern presidency. Don't support, others will support. We are saying open grazing. Please, the matter is clear. We want the cattle to do well. We want more meat, more milk, more productivity. If possible, maybe if we get ranching right, we must start exporting cattle to other parts and adding forex.
Which is
because
the ultimate goal.
Because we don't have forex.
It's the ultimate
That's
goal.
it. So, and that's why we're putting the best solution forward. And the best solution everywhere in the world is intensive form of agriculture, which is ranching, where you get better output. So it's as simple as, and I don't even see why the case of open grazing correlates with presidential. I mean, how do you go open grazing, agricultural matter, personal business matter, and presidency? If they don't want to vote, they should not vote.
Yeah, but they're going
Nigerian people will vote.
They've now come
I
out to
beg
say
you,
that they're
what
going
is
to
all of
sue.
this?
Well, this is where we are in 2021, where open grazing is a campaign issue
Wow.
of all things to be a campaign issue in the forthcoming elections. Open grazing is really bizarre. But you said that this is the ultimate goal. That may be to you. To them, their ultimate goal is preserving their way of life, regardless of the fact that it is backward, regardless of the fact that it's a complete anachronism, in spite of the fact that people are getting killed willy-nilly. They are so wedded to their way of life. They are genuinely threatened by any attempt to change it. This is how we see this thing. And it's so bad that it's now become a case of what is godly and what is satanic.
That is my question.
They're couching it in those terms.
A lot of them that think that way too.
Yes,
that is
that's the issue.
What they're thinking.
Yes,
It is
that is what it has
That's why I
become.
have to bring this
Yes,
up.
and they are the ones who are godly. So when you start to couch issues in those terms, you really do understand that this is an intractable problem.
Yes.
When you start to add that kind of language
Yes.
to it, it's none of those open grazing, ranching, never the twain shall meet. These are not people who will ever compromise. We have a serious problem on our hands. And again, I will refer to my hopes for the President Muhammadu Buhari administration when it began in 2015, that these are the issues that he can use his enormous clout to address. But alas.
Okay, Saleh
Your
Al-Hassan
analysis.
was the person who told us that anytime we hear Miyetti Allah, we should make a clear distinction between Miyetti Allah, Kautal Hore, and the other group called Makban, which is involving. But for outsiders, it's probably very difficult to draw
The
a
line.
fine distinction.
Right.
But what he has said in this regard, yes, well, it's good to pose the question. How many votes can the Miyetti Allah, Kautal Hore command? How many states does the Miyetti Allah, Kautal Hore dominate? So in other words, it's just on a flight of fancy, you know, and stating some kind of exaggerated importance in terms of the capacity to command or to influence electoral outcomes. The second leg of it, which is the most serious issue he raised, was that he was defending the federal government of Nigeria,
Yes.
the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, speaking through Dr. Umar Gwando, Special Assistant to the Attorney General on media, who had said that the federal government will support the Miyetti Allah suing those governors who are talking about open grazing. And I think we made a point elsewhere that, look, you cannot use the office of the Attorney General of the Federation to play divisive politics. I've been looking for where Dr. Gwandu will have said, oh, I didn't say so, or it is this journalist that quoted him out of context, but I've not seen anything like that. And for Saleh Al-Hassan to come out boldly to be boasting that they have the office of the AGF behind them, I think, you know, that's a very bad signal, isn't it?
It is.
Ojineka?
Dr. Abati, thank you all for your brilliant analysis as always.
Thank you
That's
very
all I
much.
have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We'll kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.
you.